We've come to the part of the interview you've been dreading a little bit,
Oh,
the Primetime Emmys.
look at the time. All right, the 2008 Primetime Emmy Awards, which I think until Anne Hathaway and James Franco co-hosted the Oscars, was the gold standard for a bad job of hosting. All right. This is the first year that the category of reality host came to the Primetime Emmys. So somebody thought, wouldn't it be great, because all these people are hosts, if we had them co-host the Emmys this year, because this category is now part of it. So I remember exactly where I was. I was sitting at a coffee shop in Connecticut. I was waiting for my daughter to get done with a haircut appointment, and I was reading the paper. My cell phone rings, and it's somebody from ABC. And here's what we're thinking: we're gonna, and you guys host. Now my instant gut instinct was, oh, that sucks. That's a lousy idea. It's like herding cats, because we all have different approaches to what we do and how we do it, and methodology and all that stuff. And as the Marx Brothers found with Zeppo, after three, you're getting into trouble. Three's comedy gold. Three, you start getting four and five, and woo. So then they were saying, well, but I think I was told that Howie had said yes, and I don't know if Ryan or Jeff and Heidi Klum, but the others have said yes. I'm sure that came up because I know it played to some sense of. Plus, it was going to be on ABC, so I felt a sense of duty there. And unfortunately, I said yes. Well, it became obvious pretty quick that this wasn't going to fly. And what really, for any actor whom you've talked to in any of these interviews, I bet you've heard, and in some of the interviews I've watched, because I go to the website often, I've seen people talk about it has to be on the page. There has to be to do a movie or a TV series successfully, the script has to be there. And that's true of these award shows, too. You've got to have a creative focus to them. So we were presented with, and I'm going to preface my version of what happened with this is like blind men describing an elephant. You can talk to any of the other participants. They'll have their own versions. This is my truth. We were presented with two great ideas to open the show. One was that Simon Cowell, Carrie Ann Inaba, another reality show judge, would be there judging us worthy of hosting the Emmys. My initial response was, that doesn't make sense. You want to have Hugh Laurie, somebody from Desperate Housewives, somebody from CSI. You want to have the Hollywood establishment judging us worthy or taking the piss out of us. That's the humor. Who do you guys think you are? That would be funny. Anytime you do a taped bit like Billy Crystal has done so well and with the Oscars, you want to have that do some of the work for you so that when you take the stage, you've already won the audience over to a degree. So I said, that doesn't work. That's counterintuitive. They're already in our camp. Oh, we can't do that. We can't get all those people together. All right. Come back with another idea the next day. You'll each be in a confessional, like on Big Brother, dissing the other nominee. I said, well, what? I'm sorry, I don't get it. How does that achieve any of those goals that I said we have to achieve? Again, it's insular. We're talking about each other again. That's not the point. The point is we're the newcomers to this party. We're at the little kids' table. We're the ones who many of these actors sitting there think are taking their jobs. We're eating up primetime hours. They're pissed at us. Let's address the elephant in the room. Oh, I don't know. So none, and that was it. Then there were no ideas coming. So then it was like, okay, then you're on your own. So Heidi had one idea with a rip-away tux, and Howie had an idea that we'd play to the fact that we don't usually use scripts, that we react. Like I was saying, a proactive, reactive. We're reactive. That we'd play to that. I decided to go back to my mime training and just shut up and hope it ended. And then they had Oprah come out, and because it was the 60th anniversary, so in lieu of coming up with any creative ideas, they brought Oprah out to kind of celebrate the 60th. But in doing so, she kind of did what we were supposed to do. So then we come out, and in the days leading up to it, poor Ryan and Heidi and well, I think Ryan and Jeff and Howie got together at Ryan's place to try to work out whatever they were going to do. And I'm not proud of it, but I basically said, guys, we're fucked. I said, they're not giving us anything. Your idea is as good as anything I've heard. Improvise play to the fact that we don't prepare things. We are reactive. Make that as quick and as, And Heidi wants to do the tux thing, so she's already bought the tux, so we'll do that. And poor Bill Shatner, I convinced him to do it with me. And luckily, he still talks to me whenever I see him, which isn't often, which is probably why it isn't often. So I was standing there on the stage, and what happens is, of course, the moment you're improvising, and it's about the fact that you don't have a script, they had some fairly tight comedic points, but then anxiety kicks in, nerves kick in, and it starts getting longer and longer and longer. And Heidi and I are not talking. That's the whole thing. I was just basically being honest. I was like, looking at where the exits are. And then they all leave, and Ryan says to me, is what the line that he said would be the cue to me, it's your network, it's your problem. Off he goes. And I say to Heidi something along the lines of, you look great, but I would have thought you'd be a little sexier, Bill. I said, Bill, don't you think? And he, oh yeah. And he, good sport, comes up and we pull the tux. And I went back and instantly started meditating. I swear to God, I was sitting in my chair backstage, and I'm like this, and I opened my eyes, and Ryan is sitting across from me, where you are, Nancy. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm meditating. I need to be as focused as possible because it's not going to be pleasant to go back out there. And it was every nightmare scenario that I worried about, and it all came true. The reviews were scathing. But then, and I swear to you this is the truth, I was in the midst of writing a book at that point called I'm Hosting as Fast as I Can. And I didn't have an ending for it. And as I was standing on that stage, as that opening monologue, opening whatever it was just flying all over the place, and I knew it was crashing, I thought, I've got an ending. And then when the reviews came out, and they were as scathing as you could imagine, Hitler got better reviews than we, all said he was a good painter. To be fair, the paintings weren't bad. I thought, and so I used them in the book. That's how the book ends. And it's about, because the very next night, after that debacle of the Emmys, I had to host the season premiere of Dancing with the Stars. And it was live. And I had to get past that, get past the reviews. And I said to my wife, and this is the producer in her kicking in, thank God. I said to her that morning, I said, if one of the dances goes bad, I can always say, well, at least you didn't have to host the Emmys. And she said, don't make it about you tonight. Make it about them. And so I never referenced it until about a month and a half later, when a number of people that season had been injured, and we did a tape piece about all the injuries. And it cut to me, and I said, and that's why I host, because you never hear about hosting injuries unless you count co-hosting the Emmys. And then it got a laugh, and then there was, it was like tragedy plus time.